evening, everybody. This is Laurie Lambert. I am so glad that you've joined us. I'm one of your field development managers. I'm excited tonight to share with you about Sweet Shop. For many of you, you probably don't know this, but I've been in the industry a really long time, 27 years. And I know I started when I was 3. But one of my favorite things is that whenever I've had an opportunity to participate in something similar to Sweet Shop, and I have had that opportunity, because everybody can play, and you can play at your level of comfort in the business. Now, I'm a believer, comfort maybe is not the best word to use. We want you out there stretching and growing, but I do want you to be able to get the things and know what fits for you and your family and that type of thing. So that is the beauty of Sweet Shop. So I hope coming tonight to this call, you've already set your goals and you already know what you're going for, because that's so very important, is to have your goal and know what you want. And tonight we're going to talk about the plan behind that. But before we get to that, the first thing I want you to think about is why. Why do you want that KitchenAid mixer? Why do you want that big egg? Or big green egg? Why do you want the $2,000 gift card? Why do you want to take that cruise? Because that is what's going to start to create the desire, not just the know-how. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing we start is the desire. That's what's going to get you up in the morning or get you on the phone in the evening after you've had a bad day at work, and keep you really locked in and not let you want to miss it. So first thing I want you to do is write down right now, why do you want what you're going for? How is it going to change your life? You know, that might sound silly. How's a KitchenAid mixer going to change my life? Well, for many of you, it's going to bring your families closer together as you get into the kitchen and you bake together. It's going to change your life maybe because it's going to save you money. It might change your life because you're going to be able to make a special treat for someone that you've not been able to make in the past. I heard Delana share today that her husband loves pound cake. And since she got her KitchenAid last year, she's been able to treat her family to that. So that's life-changing, that added value. That KitchenAid mixer wasn't just a goal, but it's brought pleasure and happiness and great food and good pound cake to Delana's family. The next thing I want you to think about is who all is going to benefit. Who's going to benefit from you earning this goal? You know, if you're going for, let's say, the GoPro, maybe your family loves to snow ski, and the GoPro is going to be part of creating memories for your family. Maybe you have a special needs child, and the iPad is going to provide a learning opportunity that right now they don't have. I have an autistic nephew, and his iPad is a very much part of his learning experience. So who's going to benefit besides you from the goal, from the gift that you're going to receive in Sweet Shop? Step number 3 is how can they be involved or support you? So, for example, I was talking to Samantha Sherrill from Mississippi the other day, and we were talking about her goal, and she set a goal. She really likes that KitchenAid mixer, but she also loves the gas grill for her husband. And she was just saying, I'd love to give him that because he's so supportive. So we had some fun brainstorming, okay? So what if that was your gift to him for Father's Day from you and the kids? How could you get the kids involved in helping you make that goal? Maybe it's physically, they take a catalog to their teachers, or maybe it's emotionally because you put on the refrigerator a chart that says Dad's surprise gift. And you know you need to hold 3 parties or 2 parties every week, and it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And every time you don't put the name in of the person you're holding a party with, the kids are going, Mom, we've got to get Dad's surprise gift. How many of you would rather let yourself down than your family down? I know that's me. I don't want to, if I tell my kids I'm going to do something for them, my grandkids now, that's going to motivate me more to get out of my comfort zone and do things than if I were just doing it for myself. So your goal is important. Knowing what you want is so important. But recognizing who it's going to benefit, who's involved, how can they support you, how can they help you, it's awesome. And that can be the catalyst to keeping you on pace. When the going gets tough, the tough gets really going, especially if they know they don't want to let their loved ones down. So everybody got their goal? I hope so. So now I want you to think about how many points does it take. If there's 3 goals, add them together. And then we want to think about how are you going to get it. And I want you to be really honest. I see people putting up, I want the cruise, and I want the $2,000 gift card, and I want this. But I also want you to think about, are you willing to do what it takes to get it? Because here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want 6 weeks from now you to realize, I'm not willing to do this. I can't hold the 6 parties that I need, or 8 parties, or 12 parties, or 15 parties a month to get what I need. Right now, I don't have the time, I don't feel, to put in the 20 Cocoa chats to get the 5 or 6 recruits or 7 recruits a month. And then just throw your hands up the air and feel like you didn't succeed. I want you to feel confident that you can, but confident with a stretch. A goal is not a give me. A goal is something that you get when you stretch, right? And I want you to stretch for this. So what is it? And then I want you to figure out what's it going to take to get it. Now, the most common thing people do, let's just say you've chosen a $6,000 gift or a $15,000 gift. Why did I choose those? Because they are equal math in 3 months. So a $6,000 gift is 2,000 points a month. A $15,000 is 5,000 points a month. How many of you believe life happens in equal parts every single month? Never, right? Life just doesn't happen in equal parts. So it's very important that you keep that in mind, that life doesn't happen in equal parts. Now, yes, I do want you to figure out, okay, if I need 2,000 points and I have a $400 party average and I am committed to getting 2 recruits a month, we'll see that. Does every recruit you get sell $500? If they have so far, guess what? You probably haven't recruited that many people. I'm just being honest, because life doesn't happen perfect. So I want you to plan for that. So if you need 2 recruits every month, qualifying at $500, you don't need 2 recruits. You probably should have 3. If you need, so that would give you on an average month without double points, that's 800 of your 2,000 points. That means you still need 1,200 points. If your party average is $400, that means you need 3 parties. Does that mean every single party will be $400? Has anybody ever had a party cancel, postpone, snowstorm came in, kid got sick? So you don't want to just have 3 parties. You may want to have 4 or 5 parties so that you have everything in place to take care of it. Second part to that, remember I said life doesn't happen in equal parts. So let's say you do get 2,000 points in February, and then you get 2,000 points in March, and then you get the flu in April. And you're so close, but you did not prepare and you didn't plan that was going to happen because you didn't know. So because life doesn't happen in equal parts, we want you to jumpstart this with a bang. You don't want to just do the equal part and stop. Now, you don't want to do less than the equal part, but how can you get 3,000 or 3,500 points in February instead of just 2,000 in case life doesn't come to you in equal parts? What are you willing to do? I had another girl, Angie, yesterday that I was working with out of South Carolina, we were talking about the cruise, and she might be on this, but I don't think she would mind me sharing. I'm sharing all these stories, so I think they're really relevant. She really wants that cruise, but right now she likes to hold about 8 parties, and with her current party average, she figures she really needs 12 parties a month to be able to get the recruits. And we also talked about how she could raise her party average. She goes, I know I can do 8, but 12 really scares me. That's an honest answer, okay? So I asked her, I said, well, here's what I want you to think about. How important is getting that cruise to you? And are you willing to do something that scares you for 3 months that you're not willing to do for a lifetime, if you know in the end that's what it's going to take to get the cruise? And you know what she said? I think I am. So sometimes we just have to say, am I willing to do something that's a little bigger and a little broader and out of my comfort zone to get something I really, really, really want? Many of you probably had to do that for Mally. So we planned, as we talked yesterday, how she's only got 5 parties on her calendar right now. She really wants to get to 12. That means she probably needs at least 4 more on her calendar by next week, like by next Tuesday, so that she'll have 9, so that she still has time to get 3 more. And that's how she's going to get to that 12. She's planning bigger. That wasn't her equal part. That was her bigger part. Okay? And at the end, we'll come off mute and I'll take questions. And so anything that's popping into your head, just write it down. And at the end of the training, I'll take questions. And I may not be able to address every single personal issue about your goal, but we'll at least try and get some general good answers. But your managers and your upline leaders are going to be a great support for you on this. And but I wanted to give you an overview today. So we've talked about your goal, why you want that goal, what it's going to do, how it's going to benefit you, how it's going to affect your life, who's involved, who else will benefit, how can they support you and help you. And then that life doesn't come in equal pieces. Step number 5 out of the 7 steps, we just talked about also, you've got to do more in the beginning. You can't count on that life is going to be perfect at the end. Step number 6, what obstacles may get in your way? Maybe you have a husband that's a firefighter and he works 24 on or 48 off. Maybe you have 6 children and this time of year is really crazy busy with all of their activities. And you live in an area where we get inclement weather. And so you know that there's a good chance in this month or in the next 3 months that practices or games are going to be rescheduled, and that can interfere with your party schedule. Maybe you have an aging parent that you help to take care of. And it seems like when you get off your game, it's because all of a sudden somebody needs you more than you have time for. In my case, it's grandbabies. When my daughters call and they need Gigi, I have a hard time saying no, because that's why I'm in this industry. I want to be able to say yes, but I have to be able to plan for that. So let me give you an example. When my children were young, I took every Friday off. Friday was my day off to do all my personal stuff, my nails, my grocery shopping, cleaning my house, that type of stuff. I worked every day from 8 to 3 during the day, and then I held my parties Tuesday night, Thursday night, 4 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. That's how I did my schedule. Well, let's say my friend was having a going away party for a friend on Tuesday night. I knew that Friday was my flex day. So if I gave up my Tuesday night party, where did I know where I was going to put my party? I was going to put it on Friday. So there was a give and take. So that's the beauty of this business. I can be Gigi when they need me, but then I know, hey, it might mean doing all my people work till 9 o'clock and all my mailings tonight when I thought I was going to be done working by 8 or 9, staying up to 10 or 11 because I gave that time somewhere else. Do you plan for that? Do you have places on your schedule and pockets that are your flex? We talk about snow days a lot, but we really need that in our schedule every week so that we have that place. You don't know when someone's going to get sick. You don't know when there's going to be an emergency. You don't know when there's just going to be something fun you want to do. I remember last year when the Rangers made it, the Texas Rangers made it to the playoffs, the baseball playoffs. My husband had never been to a baseball playoff game, and he's a huge baseball fan. And it fell on his birthday. And I be darned, I was getting him to that playoff game. That was really important to me. Now, I don't remember right now, but if that was a night I worked, I know that I reserve Friday afternoons for my flex time. I know that there's time on Saturdays and Sundays that I can flex that time out. It didn't mean I didn't do my work, and then I flexed it. Okay? So how are you going to plan? And here's what I want you to do. Before you go to bed tonight, I want you to plan your next 7 days, not your next 3 months. I want you to know what you need each month for the next 3 months. But what are you going to do in the next 7 days? And then next week, get an accountability partner. If it needs to be your FDM, preferably your upline leader or manager, because you have probably a closer and more important relationship with them. And meet again and say, okay, let's plan out our next 7 days. And after you do that 3 or 4 times, you're going to be in a habit. And you're always going to be knowing what you're going to do. And the other thing about looking at this, chopping it up, not just into 3 months, but into week bites, you can't get that far behind in 1 week that you can't catch up. You can get pretty far behind in a month. And the only person I can see right now is Tara. And Tara, thank you for being so professional and looking at me, because you are giving me a lot of energy. And when I'm watching her shake her head, she's probably been there. She's probably gotten a month behind. I have. So you get a week behind, you can catch up a week, ladies and gentlemen. That's just no big deal. You get a month behind, you can catch up, but it's not going to be a whole lot of fun. You get 2 months behind, you're probably changing your goal. And unfortunately, if you went through the first steps of figuring out who's going to benefit, who's going to be involved, who's going to support you, you don't want to let those people down. You're having too much fun. So and then you've got number 7 is that 7-day plan. Make sure you have a flex spot. Make sure you know if I need 8 parties this month to make my goal and I only have 5, hey, by this time next week, you need your other 3 on your schedule. If you need 3 recruits, because you know my motto is me plus 3 every single month, that means you always have 3 active. You always have 3 shooting. That means this month, but guess what? This month I wouldn't go for 3. Why? Because I get a supplement kit at 3. Remember what I started this call off with? Not everybody hits the mark every time. So I want 4. Because I don't want to be 45 days out and go, okay, wow, there's nothing I can do. I had 2 hit it and 1 didn't. I'm going to plan for that. And let me just tell you, you truly can have. Today, if you have 0 parties on your calendar and you want that $2,000 gift card or that cruise, you can have it. But it's going to take work. There's not one person on this training right now or one person that will be listening to this training that can't have what they want. Because all of those goals are achievable goals in a 3-month period. If we said you needed 120,000 points in 3 months, that might not be achievable. Just like saying I want to lose 80 pounds in 3 months. That's not achievable for most. But losing 20 pounds in 3 months is. Now, we're halfway through the month. So if today I decide by the end of April, I want to lose 20 pounds, I have to remember I got to work a little harder, do a little more cardio, eat a little less, because I'm 10 days into the program. But it doesn't mean I can't hit it. Just ask yourself, how hard are you willing to work? So what I'd like to do now, I know that was it was more of an overview. I didn't take each goal and break it down for you because every one of you have a different goal. And I know that. But what I want to do is I wanted to give you the inspiration, hopefully, to know how to make sure you stayed on task. And then there's someone, I promise you, that can help you with breaking it down. So what I'm going to do is now I'm actually going to bring everybody off mute, because I feel like the video will help some others as well. So I'm unmuting all. But if you'll do this, I'm muting all again because we had a really bad feedback. If you could raise your hand physically, if I can see you, most of you are on. If you have a question, I will unmute you one at a time and then let you ask your question. The first one I'm coming to is Deborah Cox. Deborah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just raising my hand to let you know I could hear you good and everything. Yeah, I got a lot of feedback. I do have a question. I'm the type of person that backs down easily when I hear the word no.
Okay.
So I need a little boost with that.
All right. You got pencil and paper?
Yeah.
Got a couple of Lori weird-isms for you. I have all kinds of little weird sayings. Okay, right.
Okay, shoot.
And put this right by your telephone. This is my favorite saying. I've used it for 27 years. Some of you know what I'm about to say. Here's what it is. Everybody write this down. Some will. Some won't. So what? Who's next?
What was the last part?
Who's next?
Oh, okay.
So when somebody says no to me, what do? I go, I literally, physically, when I'm in one of those moods, I sit my phone down and go, some will, some won't, so what, who's next? Dial.
Okay.
Don't give yourself. Also remember, 100% of the people you don't ask is a no.
Yeah.
100% of the people you don't ask. But the way we ask is important, Deborah. Remember to show value and learn about the person before. First learn about the person, then show value before you ever ask them.
Okay.
Because the most common answer to any question, except maybe do you want $1 million, is no. So if I call my best friend right now and said, hey, Kelly, what are you doing? You want to go to the mall tonight? No, I'm tired. I'm already home from work. Kelly may not even mean no. It's just what she says. So what am I going to do? I'd say, if I go, okay, bye, talk to you later. Does she really think I wanted her to go to the mall tonight? No, so I'm going to say, are you kidding me? Come on, I want to go. Let's say, Lori, I'm really tired. But Kelly, it's going to be really great. They're having a great sale at the mall. Please go with me. Now she knows I really want her to go with me. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying beg people like that, but if I'd call and said, hey, Kelly, I just found out Dillard's is having 90% off the entire store. And if you and I go together and we both spend $100, they're going to give us $20 extra free. Do you want to go to the mall with me tonight?
Yeah.
See the difference? I'm creating a value for Kelly and a reason for Kelly to want to go to the mall with me. So that's all our parties are, is they're shopping, fun, except I don't care how much I buy at Dillard's and how many friends I bring along with me. If I go shop and I bring 7 friends, is Dillard's going to give me anything free for bringing my 7 friends?
No.
If I go to a chocolate party with my 7 friends, am I going to get free?
Yes.
If I bring 12, am I going to get more free?
Yes.
If I bring 15, am I going to get more free?
Yeah.
Right? So we just have to change our thinking. We have to remember, we have a value that we give people. But that was a good question. And I think you, I applaud you for being brave enough to admit it.
It helps. Thank you.
All right. Who's next? Raise your hand. Questions about the goals, the sweet shop, general questions about, I want this, but I need a little help here. If you're on a phone and you can, I don't know what to do. I can't see you. I can pull the 2 phones I can see off mute real quick. Do either of you on the phone have a question?
No, I don't. You're wonderful. I got it all.
Okay. Oh, hey, I love that answer. I do see a hand over here. I think it's Greet. Greet, do you want to, let me pull you off mute? Okay,
Yes.
Greet, go ahead.
Hi, how are you, Lori?
I'm well, thank you.
I have a question. I have a neighbor in my neighborhood, and she wants me to do a fundraiser at her preschool. Is it a good idea to do a fundraiser just with our coffees, or is that too little of amount because some people might not like coffee and then they won't buy anything? What do you have any suggestions?
I would talk with Brenda and Donna and Elena about this. I'm not trying to avoid the question, but quite honestly, I don't know the coffee. There's a lot of, I'm sorry, I'm going to put you back on mute while I answer. There's a lot of companies that do just cookie dough, and you could say, is that too, small because it's just cookie dough? Studies show that people actually buy more when they have less options. Do I buy this coffee, or this coffee, instead of do I buy one of these coffees, one of these ready-to-eats, one of these brownies? So studies actually show that a purchase is made when less. Mark, I think it was Mark, Chef Mark shared that with us from the stage. So, and anything that we do is trial and error. If that's what they want to do, here's my believer. You go sell it to them. You go get them excited about it and go make it happen. Any other questions? Anybody have questions about how to figure out what they need? How much of a cushion, this is kind of an open time. We want to make sure when you leave here, you're set and running.
How much should we be cushioning for this one, Lori?
Pardon me?
How much should we be cushioning for this one?
Christening?
Cushioning.
Oh, so here's my thing. I would add, so if my goal was 8,000, I would say I would cushion close to 50%, 4,000. So if I was looking at my goal, instead of doing 3,000 a month, I'd want to do at least 4,000. Because here's the thing: if you do the 4,000 the first 2 months, you've already made your 8,000, and so you're ahead of the game. If you fall just a little short, you don't have as much to make up in case something comes up in the end. But you want a pretty strong cushion there, because life doesn't always, it also doesn't give us a warning. Hey, sickness is coming your way, get prepared. I'm showing up on April 17th. So I just don't want anybody to feel like, wow, if I'd only known, or if I'd only pushed. Here's the other thing. I don't think I said this. If I did, it's worth repeating. You don't stop when you get to your point. If you're at your goal on February 22nd, you don't quit working for more. I don't even care if you're at your cushion goal. You turn every stinking dollar, recruit, party, you just keep pushing them in that month. Because the more you have, the more you make. And then, second piece, you don't change your goal for the next month. So if you set it up to do 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, and that is your cushion goal, and you do 5,000 this month, your goal is still 4,000 next month. Because if nothing else, your paycheck's going to be bigger. And you're going to meet more people to recruit. And you might be choosing another gift in Sweet Shop. But just because you do more, that's another mistake. Well, I got ahead. When at the beginning of the Maui trip, a lot of people ran with those double points, some of the different months that they had. And then they all of a sudden took I can slow down because I don't have to do as much. And then what happened? Life didn't come in equal parts. Life didn't give them their fair warnings. That's not a fun. This business is so much fun when you're overachieving. Who would agree with me on that? Isn't it fun when you're way beyond your goals, not worrying how you're going to get there? Anyone else? Questions, comments? Tara, was that enough of an answer for you? It kind of depends on the goal, but pretty good chunk. Yes, Lenny.
Oh, cool. You can unmute me. I was like,
yes, I can. My magic button.
So I was curious about the qualified recruit, because is it overlapping from Maui as well as Sweet Shop? Like if you had a recruit join in January, but they're not hitting their 45-day 500 qualifier until February, will that count for the double 800 points?
My understanding is this promotion started on February 1st, so they would have to have joined by February 1st. I will look into that. In fact, if you guys don't mind a little rudeness, if I see Becca or Michelle, we have like an internal office system. Neither one of them are on right now. I'm pretty sure normally, normally it's the program started on Feb 1, but I will get the answer and I will have Becca get that out to you guys, because that is a very good question. If you get them qualified during, but I don't think so, because my understanding is it's recruit them in February and they qualify. Because you can recruit them on the last day, Lenny, of February, and they still have their full 45 days.
Right, and I understood that, but I was trying to look through the details on the back, and it wasn't as clear as it typically is about that time frame. So I just wanted to make sure. Either way, we're still going to, help along our chocolatiers that just joined, but that would be helpful just in terms of that calculation and being super analytical about how to move forward.
Okay, I am sending them in case any of them come back and look, that I can get you guys an answer. That's a great question, though, but I will get you the answer and we'll get it out to you guys for sure.
Thank you.
All right, so I have one more thing, and then is how do you get people excited about recruiting to get those double recruiting points? So a little idea we came up with today in one of my group coaching calls is to take your Sweet Shop flyer, make a few copies of it, and cut out some pictures, maybe 3 or 4 copies of it, and cut out some of the pictures of the most kind of common things that someone that wasn't with Doug might enjoy. Maybe it's the GoPro, the blender, the mixer, the Ninja, the iPad, the $2,000 gift card, and just take one item and put it on a 3x5 card and laminate them. And have a stack of them, and when your guests come in, I always have my guests wear name badges because I think everybody likes to be called by name. When your guest comes in, ask them to pick up a card of a gift that they would like to have. And then just throughout, so they've got these cards in their hand, and ask them to hold on to it the entire party, because y'all have heard the saying, possession is 9/10 of the law, right? So you're going to have them just hold on to it. And then you're going to ask them to write down on the top of their order form how many extra hours of work do they think they would have to do at their current job to get that as a bonus. What do they think it would take for their boss to give them that as a bonus in the next 3 months? What would they have to do? Why do we laminate them? Because then you use the same ones at every party. And then when they come to do their order, they hand you the card, and then you have written up top exactly what they think they would have to do. There are people that, I can tell you what the most common answer is going to be, there's nothing I could do to get that. My boss would never give me a big green egg or a gas grill or a $2,000 gift card or a GoPro. And you're going to be able to look at them and kind of know going in, all right, the GoPro or the up to about the $6,000 gifts would take about 3 to 5 hours a week, one party a week, right? That's all it would take, about 3 to 5 hours a week. Gifts from say 8,000 to 10 or 12 might take 5 to 10 hours a week, and the bigger gifts may take 10 to 15. I wouldn't put the real big ones, maybe the $2,000 Visa gift card, or maybe do one of the smaller Visa gift cards. Because most people, when you say 15 to 20 hours, they're going to shut down. But when you say 2 to 3 hours, or 3 to 5 hours, or 5 to 10 hours a week for 3 months, you mean if I just went to work an extra 2 hours a week, not a day, in 3 months my boss would send a brand new gas grill home to my house? That's another way to create desire to help you recruit, and then get them to buy in and want to have that urgency of getting started right away. Do you like that idea, guys? That was a conglomerate of Delana Wood, Vanessa O'Rourke, and Angie Schmidt. I have to give them the credit. So we can, that's what's great about these types of things. Anybody else want to share or ask a question? When it gets quiet like this, I go to the countdown of 10, 9, 8, and if no other questions come up, I end the call. So we have 10 seconds. Last call for questions or comments. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, great call, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I hope you'll share, and we'll get this recording out to your friends and team members that couldn't be on. I hope it was helpful. Good night.